Republicans infight a little bit, and then that Fox and Friends covers it. By the way, the Virginia redistricting got blocked by a federal judge. Pissing me off, man.
Striking down the Democrats' proposed House map that would have drastically shifted the balance of power in the midterm elections. The redistricting plan Democrats were proposing would have turned a narrow 6-5
This shit makes me so fucking angry, man.
split within the state into a near sweep in their party from a 10-1.
Yeah, Saturday in America anchor Kayleigh McEnany joining us now. You know what? There's so many ways we could go with this story, but first and foremost, I, for one, I think I speak for a lot of Americans, am thrilled by the notion that the Supreme Court in the Commonwealth said, no, the way you did this was wrong, to say nothing of the possible disenfranchisement of millions of Virginian voters.
Yeah, you can't buy.
You're such a fucking slug for salt. You're such a piece of shit. They go around disenfranchising black voters on the daily, and you just minorities who defend Trump make me angrier than God itself.
Violate the
Or God
Virginia
himself.
Constitution is what the court said. And we have seen activist judges say, oh, wait, we'll let you do whatever. And in my view, they had partisan ends because the facts didn't match the law. In this case, the judges made the facts match the law. This was unconstitutional. I am so glad the bigger point to me here is that Republicans are fighting. You know, there was an effort, and there is still an effort, to label Republicans as the big bad gerrymanderers.
Yeah, you guys fucking hate black people!
And the Trump team said, we don't care, label us that. We are going to be on an equal playing field in fighting Democrats. And the same backbone that has been pushed forward, the tailwind by President Trump and the political team, I want to see that backbone in Congress with the filibuster, the Save America Act. We have to fight Democrats where they are, because as James Blair has said, Democrats were doing this for a long time in Wisconsin, in New York, in Utah, in the past cycle and beyond. And finally, Republicans have stepped up and said, we're going to do this too.
Yeah, this is the difference between the old Mitt Romney, George Bush party and what's now the MAGA party, right? Donald Trump has forever changed the party, not just because the policies are America first, but because he said, we're going to fight like Democrats. And you're right, they've been gerrymandering forever. And all the Republicans could do is go, that's so.
No, we haven't. No, we fucking haven't, man. Democrats have been so fucking weak on gerrymandering for so long. Making the playing field equal. Who started the gerrymandering first? Exactly, Vastin!
Bad. And now Donald Trump says, we're going to do it too.
Yes. And you know
I love it.
The comical part of this is I was watching the CNN clip this morning with the political director, James Blair, who I mentioned, who you know, Rachel. And it's funny. The CNN host said, you guys lost in Virginia. Democrats spent $56 million on this. You only spent approximately half this. How dare you? You didn't invest. You lost. Oh, wait, Democrats spent $56 million and got absolutely nothing. And now the DNC is farther below the RNC than they already currently are. Sounds like a victory, and sounds like they got the last laugh.
So talk about victories, Kayleigh. Let's go to the map on the wall I was showing earlier, which is Hakeem Jeffries and Democrats are freaking out this morning, not just because of Virginia,
Such a weak piece
but
of
you
shit.
look at the Trump-initiated battle nationwide, and you've got 5 pick.
God, this is the plan, man. This is the fucking plan. Let Republicans redistrict like crazy. It sucks. And I don't want to blame anybody, but like the redistricting effort, then it initially got blocked. It's just like it was a sign for like really bad turnouts, because this is not a good thing to look at.
Pickups in Texas, 4 in Florida. Tennessee picked 1 up. GOP picking up 1 in North Carolina, Missouri. It looks like the GOP on the verge of a possible predicted massive blue wave in the midterms. Democrats may pick up upwards of 13 seats. Is this changing the calculus for the midterms?
It is. It is. And
Yes,
we've talked about the headwinds, and there are
unfortunately.
headwinds, and there's a very real possibility Republicans lose the House, could lose the Senate. This, however, could change the dynamic. The math I have, and again, this all is assuming Republican voters show up. It's all assuming that
Which they
the
won't.
dynamics are
They
in our
never
favor, that
do.
we have good candidate quality, good nominees. But the math I have is if it pans out the way we think, Republicans could pick up anywhere from 8 seats just by virtue of the way the district is out ideologically. And then you could add to that possibly Louisiana, Alabama, South Carolina. This could mean a possible 10 to 12 point advantage for Republicans, not saying in an overall victory, but just in the map before you get to the votes based on the way districts stand.
Yeah, I mean, people thought, like you said, these headwinds were, I mean, there's natural headwinds just because you're in a midterm and you have the executive branch. But, you know, you hear this morning.
Not the Iranian war, not the record levels of unpopularness, not the economy crumbling. I don't think there's a way DNC gets a majority anymore. Reps won't be flipping votes. I don't know, man. I still think the DNC could have a majority in the House. I don't know about the Senate, but if we can get one chamber of Congress back, that's a big move. Granted, a lot of stuff is unilaterally executive theory at this point, so we'll just have to wait and see for
an end
those.
to the war in Iran coming up this, later this morning, and then you see this on the map. Suddenly, the Republicans are back in the game. It could be very interesting ahead of the midterms.
You're exactly right. Dynamics change quickly. We could be going into the midterms with a settled Iran ceasefire of some sort, a big win.
Gas
a
prices
deal
going down.
That happens very quickly.
Yeah.
There you
Gas
go.
No,
prices
it
change
doesn't.
quickly. I know the old adage
No,
is,
it doesn't, man. No, it doesn't.
prices are here to stay once they go up. And that is typically true for eggs and food and things, but not for gas. Gas is very volatile. That could be solved very quickly. Could be a different dynamic. You could have a change in Cuba as well. We don't know, but we are very early. We've got to win media cycles going into November, but it's very early sitting here in May saying this is doomed and inflation is the way of the world.
Yeah, I was making that argument earlier. I was saying, listen, what happens in May is great for the media, but trust me, as a voter, I'm usually not really deciding, unless I'm a real partisan, until October. October, now I'm feeling, how are things looking and going? And I really think that's probably what's going to happen. Meantime, Florida
He's not
has
wrong about
created
that.
a more conservative U.S. history course to rival AP. I am fascinated as an old AP student myself. What do you make of this?
Yeah, it's really interesting
Could you
because
explain AP? Because some people
Yes.
may not, because this is sort of our generation started the
point.
whole
That's a
AP,
great-
but there may be
yeah.
people watching who don't understand this.
so AP are courses you take, you get college credit for them moving
I never expected them to have to explain what an AP course is. What the fuck? That's so indicative of their viewer base.
forward. But what does that mean? A lot of times it can look like a college curriculum, and there's a board that sets the curriculum for the AP. You take an AP exam. So this is an effort for Florida to say, look, we're pushing back a little on the curriculum. Why does one organization have a monopoly on what kids should learn in U.S. history?
Because it's college. It's real education.
But what I'm fascinated by, the New York Times, okay, so the New York Times, the way they interpret this,
God, her
Florida-
what the fuck? Is that a pen in her hand?
Yeah.
but what I'm fascinated by, the New York Times, okay, so
Oh, it's a pen. I thought it was her
the New York
nails.
Times, the way they interpret this Florida history is Florida creates a more conservative U.S. history.
Honestly, I won't be
Okay.
defending AP. It stinks. Yeah, you're not wrong. Hold on. All right,
Newsflash,
after this segment, I'm going to go grab my package.
history isn't conservative or liberal.
That's
It
right.
is factual.
It is factual. There you
And
go.
why is it conservative? Because it advances American exceptionalism. It focuses on Western civilization. It's American history. This is the Western civilization.
Yeah.
And it emphasizes Protestant religions as part of our heritage, which is a fact. So they're focusing on facts. The New York Times.
The Florida Fact course is going to fuck so many people over.
I'm just calling this
And AP isn't perfect, but it's much better than the Florida Fact course.
conservative.
Yeah, we've got it on the wall for you,
Yeah.
Kaylee. I mean, you literally can see the new Florida course, as you talked about, 214 pages on history, political economy, and of course, the national identity and character. And then the advanced placement course. That's what AP stands for, which is ironic in the sense that the advanced students are going to learn about non-traditional subjects, but it has 560 pages.
Yeah! Because they don't need to learn about the traditional subjects because they already know them.
Focusing on American and national identity, politics and power, American and regional.
So what happened to American?
Economics and political economy, capitalism means happy and everything else equals instant death. True.
History, starting with Howard Zinn. And it's really important for people to understand Howard Zinn is a cultural Marxist. He came in and he said, I'm going to rewrite and retell the American story, the American history, through the prism of oppression. Okay? So the oppressed versus the oppressors. And of course, the way that the founders were cast as oppressors, everything was negative. And by the time the kids, by the way, Howard Zinn used to be a college course, for, where your Marxist professor gave it to you. It went down to the high school level, and high school students were getting this kind of history. Florida
Woke.
pushing back and saying, you know what, we're not going to allow the Howard Zinn version of America to be the only story
We use Marxism as a catch term. A catch-all term nowadays. No, Marxism is a very catch-all term.
told and,
right
and
now.
the way that test is presented. We're going to offer this other thing. Now, that counts for Florida, Kaylee, but will this Florida version of the AP be accepted if you're applying for schools in other states.
And that's a question. It has to be accepted by schools in other states. They all get to make that decision. So you're exactly right to point that out. I would note that this course still teaches the ills in American history. Every child should learn about the Trail of Tears and slavery and civil rights, and all of those things are still present. But to your point,
She doesn't believe that for a fucking second, by the way.
about the oppressed and the oppressor, I encountered that at Georgetown in international relations. America was the oppressor. I had professors say to me, question American exceptionalism. Does it exist? Write an essay. Go. America is the most exceptional nation in the world. That is a fact. You can look at it on any metric. This should be taught in classrooms. Why are we not teaching our kids this? It's not conservative. It's at the core of what makes our country great. We're the greatest on earth. We're celebrating it this year, America 250, and our kids should learn those things.
All right, so tell us more about what's coming up this morning.
So we have a lot going on. Vivek Ramaswamy.
I wish we were the most exceptional country on earth. I would love to be the most exceptional country on the earth. I genuinely gives you a homeless man a single penny. What are you, Marxist? True. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that's why. I would love for America to be the shining hill on the shining tree on a hill where everyone wants to be at, and we support the world and we make people feel safe and we make the world a better place. But we just don't. We don't, and it makes me so fucking angry, man. Because I do love this country. Greatest country, homie. We're fucking ourselves sideways on foreign soils. True. Because she did American exceptionalism while disapproving American exceptionalism. Yeah. All right.